Okay, so it's time to delve into the Comic Tom top 100, yeah, right. Top 10 list for March 20th, 2022. Stick around. Welcome back, family. Thanks for joining yet again. Got the glasses. Here we go. Got my chicken scratch. Here we go. So, no, I talked to a couple of people last week, and they were looking at last week's list, and they wanted to know, well, why did I put such and such on the list? I want to reiterate, this is not my list. This is Comic Tom's list. Comic Tom 101 has his own video channel. Very, very highly subscribed to channel. I can see now. Yay. There you are. Okay, so 55,000 or so subscribers on his channel, and he breaks down his top lists. And JP's Budget Collecting is another channel that I love to watch, and he takes Comic Tom's list and the CBSI list and Key Collectors list, and puts them together, sees which books they have in common, doesn't do it twice, and reviews whether or not they're, as he calls it, cash or trash. Great channel. You need to watch it. I don't go with the Key Collector. I just try to look at Comic Tom's list because he has such a high following that just his influence, there you go, on the comic market is too much, in my opinion. So if he sees a book that's it's hot and he puts it on his list, it makes it hotter. If it's a book that he thinks should be on the list, he can put it on his list to do what he so chooses. And as a result, a lot of times books that have a lot of copies sold doesn't mean that they have a lot of investability. It could be that there's 10 million copies and people just feel like reading that one. It will drive prices higher, and people will fall subject to FOMO and buy comics that they're going to get ripped off on. So that's what I'm trying to do with this channel, with this particular segment. And there are books that I'm going to say that they're a decent investment, but just not right now. And that is the end part of this video, which is called Remember Me, where it's my job I told you not to buy it. I have to tell you later on when is a good time or when to start looking again. Okay, so here we go. We're going to break down the top 10 lists that he had this week. Starting off at number 10, Catwoman number 41, the 1 in 25, the Micah variants. Okay, so first off, the cover does look great. It does, but it's selling for about $30 for a 1 in 25, which is about average. Now, what happens with a lot of these incentive variants, the 1 in 25s, the 1 in 50s, you'll get some, like that Wonder Woman one that was a few months ago. Nobody was buying the regular comic books, so stores were not ordering that many copies of them. And the incentive ratio variant of 25 or 50, since nobody's buying the books, not many people buy the variants. They buy the ratio, incentive ratios. And then when one super one comes out, a great cover, there's not many to go around. So a few issues ago, there was one of these, because nobody was buying Catwoman 38 and 37 and 36 and 39. The stores weren't ordering enough, and they would get one, maybe two copies of the 1 in 25 variant, and a really cool cover came out, and everybody wanted to have it, and nobody had it. So what happens now, 2 months later, everybody's afraid of missing out on it. Stores are buying a lot of these copies just so they can get 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 copies of the 1 in 25. A good cover comes out, and people are afraid of missing it again, just like the Black Panther one. I mean, these retailer incentives are really bad for the market, in my opinion. But this one is not like the one from a few issues ago. This one was heavily ordered. Stores have this. This is going to be, supply and demand. It's going the other direction. People are going to say, hey, they're all over the place. This price is going to drop. If you like the cover, wait for it to drop down. It'll probably be $15 within about a month or two. One of two books that both are going to fail for the same reason. Okay, now coming in at number 9, New Teen Titans, number 9, the second appearance of the Vigilante. And it's the second appearance of the Vigilante. Okay, it's not just, it's going for $12, which is, if you want to have a early appearance of the Vigilante and you don't mind shelling out $12, go right ahead. This is a book that was printed, a good quantity. I could just say that. Not as high as the next one that'll be on the list a little later on, which if you saw the Comic Tom list, you know which one I'm talking about. For $12, if you want to go out and grab it, it's not going to hurt. There's been a little bit of news regarding it. I'd wait a little bit until it died down, but, it's not going to drop down that much, maybe down to 9. So if you just feel like grabbing a copy, go ahead. It's not going to hurt anything. Timeless #1, the 3rd print. This one might be a good book to pick up. I don't know how many copies were, so let's just take that one off the... I have no idea. But they're selling for $8. The cover price on it was $6. So it's only gone up 33%. $2. It has a Minuteman cover and a unknown character playing female Black Panther, which a lot of people are speculating is Storm and T'Challa's daughter. If that is true, and this turns out to be a character that later on, God forbid, she's the character that actually winds up being in Black Panther 2. This book is going, wow. It's going to go nuts. So for $8, yeah, I'm going to be looking for this one just for $8 just to get 1 or 2 copies in my collection. Wow, I finally said something on Comic Tom list is worthwhile. Now the question is, now that it's been on Comic Tom's list, can you still find it for $8? There's your trick. #7, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. This is the Empire book that you got for mailing away. It's number 1/2. Okay, so it's the rolls are going for $35. 9.8 to sold for $230. It's the first appearance of a bunch of different characters, just about everybody that was in the first Star Wars movie, the Phantom Menace. But most importantly, it's because Qui-Gon Jinn, I always say Jim. Qui-Gon Jimmy is rumored to be in the Obi-Wan series. Now, they said they don't know if he's going to be making an appearance as a flashback or as a Force Ghost. My money's a Force Ghost. Because at the end of Episode 3, Luke says to Obi-Wan, to your master I have been speaking, Qui-Gon, I will teach you how to communicate with him. What was the point of even saying that if you're not going to see him communicate with him? So Filoni loves picking up on these little things and giving the fan service of something that we always wanted to see. This is something that I would love to see. So the book may pop up a little bit when you actually see him, but then it will die back down again. This is one of those classic Remember Me's. But being careful because it is a Star Wars book. So Star Wars books don't always come down all the way. But sometimes they do. I'm looking at my Cad Bane Funko Pop. All right, so #6. Here's the other one. Yay! X-Force #2. The second appearance of Deadpool. Average sales, what do I have written there? $10? I think that's about right. $10, $15, whatever they sell for. $90 for 9.8. Dude, they've been around $90 for 9.8 for 2 years. This is such a highly printed book. They're all over the place. Even, to get a 9.8 really wasn't that hard on this book either, because it was right in the middle of the time period where everybody was just getting a book and going straight into bag and board, and they wouldn't even open them or read them. This is a book that, if you want to get, by all means, go right ahead. It's never going to be worth a fortune. There's just too many of them out there. It will go up a little bit when the Deadpool trailer comes out and come back down a little bit. So if you're looking for something that you can put a little bit of money into and maybe get a little bit of a return on investment to try to help fund the hobby, okay. But news just came out that the Deadpool movie is going to be rated R, which is great because it's a Disney movie now. And I would say wait a couple months. You could probably pick up a 9.8 for more like 79, 75, 80, in that range. There's so many of them. There's just so many of them. It's a cool book to have in your collection, though. And I definitely go for the 9.8 on that. You think about buying a good raw copy at $10, and then by the time you ship it and grade it and everything else and wait a year, you're still in for $50. You might as well just try to get one for 75, and not take the chance that you're going to get a 9.6 and be disappointed. Coming in at number 5, Dollar Bin. Silver Sable and the Wild Pack number 9. $5 average sale with no... Not one book has been submitted to CGC. What did I say before? If nobody submitted to CGC, that means nobody's ever cared about this book. It's not been worth it. First appearance of Ernst Sable. Oh, man. Why didn't you tell me to put my glasses back on? Sablanova. There we go. And it's the origin of Silver Sable. Now, in that regard, it's kind of cool. But Silver Sable and the Wild Pack number 9, average price of $5. And it's on a hot list. It's going to be a Dollar Bin book. It really is. It's a character that is rumored to be, probably will be in the Kraven movie, which I don't even know if the Kraven movie is going to be any good. I don't know if it's going to be a one-shot thing. Who knows? But even if it is, it's so far away that you're going to find this in Dollar Bin books, in Dollar Bin boxes. Don't bother spending $5 on this book. And even if, what's the maximum this book could actually go up to? If you chase every single $5 book down, you're going to wind up with a lot of long boxes full of books that you wish you had not spent the money on, and you spent all that money onto one good quality book. And I'm saying this as I'm looking at all my long boxes. Bad. Star Wars coming in number 4, Star Wars number 2. All right, now this is a great book. It's just the wrong time to buy this. First appearance of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Han Solo, Chewie, the Millennium Falcon. Raw is going for $200, and 9.8 just recently sold for $1,920, which is down from December of $3,150. Why was it $3,150? Because that's when that's not when the trailer first dropped. Trailer just dropped. No, that was when the little teaser trailer popped out. I remember that. Yeah. Now you got the other trailer. So at this point, now the book will come down a little bit. If you're looking for a 9.8, I would wait on this one. But not too much, because even Star Wars number 1 is still, it's still climbing in price. What are we hitting now? 6,000 for a 9.8 now. Number 2 is not going to be that far behind. I don't think this is going to, after the series is over, this may settle down to 1,600 or so, but I don't think it's going to go much lower on a 9.8. Raws, however, I think you'll be able to get a good quality raw, and $140 instead of the $200 range. But this is a book that has long-term increase in value. So you definitely do want to put this on your Remember Me list and pick this up 2 months after the conclusion of the Obi-Wan series. I will try to make sure I put this on my Remember Me list for you. See, that's what that's for. Coming in number 3, Star Wars High Republic number 5. $5 average sale, no graded copies. First appearance of Vernestro Rowe. Okay, now number 3 has a cameo, which is a little bit more than a cameo in number 2. We don't even... Do we know that this character is going to be used in further? I think the High Republic series is coming to an end. The next High Republic series is supposed to be set 150 years prior to it, so that character won't be involved in it. And it's a book that questionable as far as 1 of 3 issues, where, which one is the Hulk 181? $5 average sale, though. You want to spend $5 on a book. What was the cover price on this when it came out? $4? You're going to spend an extra $1? Go for it. Have some fun. Read the books, too, by the way, while you're at it. Good series. Number 2, Miss Marvel, number 5. $25 average sales, and an 8.0 sold for $60. That's what they reported, and there were no higher grades at this time, but there was a 9.8 with several days left. It was already up to 170. It'll probably sell for 350 because there are a lot of people that have just seen the trailer and they have their FOMO going. Trailer just dropped. Wrong time to buy. I'm going to get t-shirts that printed to say this. Don't buy a book when the trailer drops. That's the time to sell. That's the time to sell should be said on the back of the shirt. But it is the origin of Ms. Marvel. And it has that lamppost pic, which is something that they featured not only in the series, but also on the promotional posters. It's a cool picture. It really is. And I will be looking to pick up a copy of this 2-3 months after the series is over for 10 to 15 bucks, maybe 10. Because I just want to get one. And I'll probably find, a lot of people are going to be submitting the CGC. So wait till 2038, another 16 years from now when they come back. But the market is going to be flooded with them, and you will see a lot of 9.8s. I'm going to call 9.8s will be selling for $175, which is a lot better than, no, probably even less than that. $140. The first ones are going to go through. You're going to see a bunch of them on the market. 6 months from now, $120 to $140, you're going to see your 9.8s. And number one, the JLA Avengers. I'm sorry, this book is ticking me off. Okay, they printed 7,000 copies with a retail manufacturer's suggested retail price of $30. With the $30 going to charity. This is a story that already came out one time before, and the comic book companies, Marvel and DC, they got together and put all differences aside to market this one book, so the proceeds could go all to charity. And this was to honor George Perez, great artist, great icon in our field, and he's been ill lately, and he's got to be worried, but. Books are going for up to $200. I know that, I hope people don't really think that when they go into a store and if the store has taken their $30 copy and put a $200 sticker on it and sell it for $200, I hope people don't think that $200 is going to charity. The $30 went to charity and the $170 is going into the guy's pocket. That's why this is ticking me off. People want to have this book and put it into their collection. Absolutely, I have no problem with that. If people are saying, I want to take the $200 and put it, it's worth it to me to have $200 so I can have this iconic book. Okay, it's your money, you do what you want with it. Some people are saying that they're selling the book for $200 and taking the money and donating it to charity. If you're doing that, God bless you. I love you. If there are people out there that you know that this is our hobby. That there are people out there that have bought the book for $30 or $40 or $50, and they're turning it around now and selling it for $200, and that money's going into their charity, their wallet, and that's not what this book was made for. So if you really want to have this book, once all the profiteering is out of the way, there are 7,000 copies of this book. There have been books that have had much lower print runs that have not maintained this kind of value. Definitely hold off on buying it. And if you really want to have this book, look up one of the earlier prints of the book. It's going for less money. So that's what I think of the top list right now. But I'm going to give you not one, but two, which is not 12 or 21. Two Remember Me books. Now, in case you are new, there are books that I say, wait, don't buy this until such and such a time. The idea is that when it drops off of everybody's radar and people forget about it, that's when sales start to go down and dealers will lower their prices just to keep the books moving through their inventory. But if everybody's forgetting about the book, you need somebody to remind you, hey, this is the time to get it. So, we are going to go with, hang on a second, please. Okay, that made me feel better. We're going to go with Ultimate Fantastic Four, number 22. This is the first full appearance of the Marvel Zombies. Now, this book went up in price quite a bit when the Marvel Zombies came out in What If, and continued to go up a little bit when it was announced that there was going to be a Marvel Zombies series. The Raws were going 40 to 80 bucks, and the 9.8s were going for 7 to 800. Wow, that much. Okay. Yeah, that's what I got down in my notes. The Raws are now, no, I think it's 7 to 800 now is what you can get the 9.8s for. But the Raws are going down to 35. And this is where these books are starting to be lowered in price. So it's not that much off from where it was, but this is the point where it's going to start dropping down in price. So get your little pad of paper. If you haven't, remember my little flip thing here? Get your pad of paper ready and write down Fantastic Four, Ultimate Fantastic Four, number 22, from the 2005 series. And you're going to be on the lookout now for your first appearance of the Marvel Zombies. Another book that has dropped in price, and this is a book that actually I sold at its peak, and I'm now looking to replenish back into my collection because I miss it. Young Avengers number 1. I had a 9.6 on this. So the raw copies were selling for around $280. You can get them down to $100 now. Good, raw copies for $100 on that. I wouldn't think the $100 copies are 9.8 potential. So just you're going to find something, 9.2s, 9.4s. 9.8s were going for $1,470. Now they're going for about $800. This is the first appearance of Kate Bishop. We know she's going to be back. It's just that nobody's talking about her right now. Everybody's on to the newest flavor. So you're almost at half price for a 9.8. And I didn't look it up, but historically 9.6s go for about half or a little under half of a 9.8, depending upon ratios. If 9.8s are really, 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 really hard to get, like a Kanto or something like that, then the price of a 9.8 is multiples of a 9.6. But generally, it's about half. So I'm going to try to shoot to get a 9.6 again, but I'm going to be shooting to find one in the high 2s. I think it can be done. I mean, I just found my Star Wars number 1 and a 9.0 for, okay, I'll let you know, $317. I couldn't believe that. So those are the two books that I think you should be keeping an eye out for, because the prices are starting to come down on them, and they both have potential to go back up again. So you want to catch it in that low valley. Hopefully you found this information helpful. I'm going to try to wrap this one up. I'm already well over 20 minutes. I apologize for that. I didn't mean to be long-winded. But I've got to go pack for my trip. And I hopefully will get the other videos back from my editor this week, and I can have those posted up. So keep you guys going with the flavor of Ohana. Thank you so much for joining yet again. I hope you had some fun. But until I see you guys again next week, mahalo.